A few years ago, I was trying to send to sleep the sister of a friend I used to take care of. She was about 3 years old at that time, and she was resisting to go to sleep. She asked me, why did she have to go to sleep? And I answered her, it is late. It is time for the little girls to go to rest. She pointed to an empty corner of the living room and said, that girl, why doesn't she have to go to sleep? Later, when I was young, I used to take care of my youngest nephew. He was 2.5 years old. On more than one occasion, he talked about a woman who visited him at night and sang to him. He only said her name was Frank. She had a red dress and she rubbed. 2 years later, I was taking care of a niece, and we were looking at my elementary school yearbook pictures when we saw the picture of a second-year group. She put her finger on the face of a boy and exclaimed, he looks just like Nicholas. Who is Nicholas? I asked her. As she continued to look at the pictures without flinching, she answered, it's the boy that comes out of my closet. The innocent wisdom of children is beyond our comprehension. My niece, just turned 4 years old, constantly tells me about her older sister. We often find her alone, supposedly talking to her. But she is an only child. She doesn't know how to talk to her. But she is an only child. She doesn't know. There is no way. Her mom lost the baby the first time she was pregnant years before she was born. I was heading to the bathroom on the second floor of my aunt's old house when I saw my cousin on the stairs. She was very funny, making funny faces, and I asked her, what were you playing at? I looked around, but there was no one else. Where is the lady? I asked. She is there, she answered, and pointed to a beam that ran parallel to the stairs at the second floor ceiling. And what is the lady doing? I asked. She is making funny faces. I smiled and kept going up the stairs when my cousin said something that stopped me and made my blood run cold. She said, she has her braid around her neck, she said. She has her braid around her neck. I turned and asked her to repeat what she had just said. The lady is hanging by her braid. She is making funny faces. Then my cousin started making a face, which up to that moment I recognized was the face of someone struggling to breathe. Sometime later, I took care of the children of a family while the parents went out to see a movie. The next day the parents called me. According to the child, told them that I stood at the door of his room and watched him for a long time with a macabre smile on my face. I was so confused that I didn't know what to say to them. The next month, it was nighttime. I was babysitting friends' children when the youngest came up to me and gave me a drawing he had made of a woman hanging from the ceiling and said, she asked me to draw this. She's coming for you. You should hide for a long time, too. I took care of my best friend's nephew since he was 3 years old until he was 7. Unfortunately, he passed away from a rare disease. He always told me about the goblins that visited him at night. At first they were friendly, but then he started to have them because they told him he had to go with them. When he passed away, his parents put the house for sale and they moved out of town. My best friend's father is a contractor and they worked on remodeling his dad's house. My best friend's father is a contractor and they worked on the remodeling of the house. My friend was constantly helping his father. They had been working on the house for a few days when he asked me to go with them. When I arrived, there was only my friend. He took me to his nephew's room. They had knocked down a wall, and between the walls they found small passages that connected the whole house to the basement, and they kept going down. His dad said that they were probably rats, and they would have to work a lot to repair the whole structure. My friend knew what the boy was telling me. That's why he wanted to show me. We never told anyone else. A few months ago, I had to take care of 3 children because their grandmother had died, and the parents did not want or could not take them to the wake. When I arrived at the house, a fairly large and old house, one of the richest areas of the city, the maid was waiting for me at the door outside the house, and before I could enter, he left without saying anything to me. As I entered the house, I heard them run up to the second floor by some old and huge stairs. In the dark, I couldn't see where they ended. I didn't know the children, so I asked them to come down, please. I could almost feel them looking at me, and then I heard the steps as they walked away from the stairs and focused on the darkness of the second floor of the house. It gives me a pretty disturbing feeling, so I started looking for some switch to turn on a light or even a lamp so I could go upstairs for the children who I could hear walking. Just above me on the second floor, I looked for the kitchen. I heard noises. In one of the doors, I saw a reflection. I approached it. From under the door, you can see there was a light inside that room, and then the shadows of someone walking inside. Is there someone here? I'm looking for a lamp, I asked. Nobody answered. Slowly, I approached to open the door, and before I could touch it, someone opened it from inside, squeaking like in a horror movie. It opened little by little. There were the children of 8, 6, and 3 years old. Approximately the oldest was hugging the little one, and the one who would be 6 years old was the one who had opened the door for me. I asked them to come out of there to play together, but they said they would not come out until their parents returned. They returned to the light. They had the only candles in the house. You could tell they had cried a lot, and the little one did not stop crying. They felt so sad. Why didn't they let us go to say goodbye to her at her wake? They said. The older one answered me, almost upset. It was Grandma who asked that no children attend her wake. She loved you very much. Don't feel bad for your grandma, I told them. Again, a little upset, the older one answered me. We didn't feel bad, we almost never saw her. My grandma was a bad person. I didn't know what to say. I was confused. I saw the 6-year-old boy pass behind me to close the door behind my back and put the lock on. Why did he do that? I wondered silently. So try not to be sad, I said. The boy who closed the door took me by the hand and said, "We are not sad, we are scared. Grandma is up there."